Today's lesson is on calculating gross income. This warm-up, I would like you to try on your own. I've completed the answers for this page, and you can find them on the answer key that's attached. So I'm going to start here, the timing of earnings. Survey members of your class to determine how students are paid. Well, since we're not together, I'm going to just give you some examples of how some people may be paid. And I'm going to start with myself. So my name is Miss DeChantis. Okay. My employer. So employer, that means who do you work for? So I work for Toronto Catholic District School Board. How do I get paid? I'm on salary. Estimated hours per week. I work about 40 hours a week. And pay schedule, I get paid every other Friday or every second Friday. Okay, so I'm going to come up with I'm going to make up two other examples here. So let's say someone named Tom works at McDonald's. So he gets paid hourly or by wage. He's part-time, so he only works 20 hours. And he gets paid bi-weekly. Okay, so the word bi means two. In math, bi means two. So every other week is what bi-weekly means. Every other week. And then I'm going to make up one more person. Mia works at Honda, the car manufacturer. This is an example of piecework where Mia only gets paid when she sells a car. Estimated hours per week. Let's say that she's working really hard and she wants to sell as many cars as possible to make as much money as possible. She's working 50 hours a week and she gets paid semi-monthly. So semi means half. So every half month she gets paid. So half a month, so that means in 1 month she gets paid twice. So semi-monthly means twice a month. Okay, and I think that's enough examples. I'm gonna scroll down to here. Many workers are paid weekly. Without considering time off for vacations, these people will be paid how many times in a year? Well, there's 52 weeks in a year. So if you get paid weekly, that means you're getting paid 52 times. 52 weeks in 1 year. People paid weekly usually be paid how many times a month? Well, if you're getting paid once a week, there's approximately 4 weeks in a month. There's a little bit more than 4 weeks in a month. It's about 4.5 weeks in each month, but 4 full weeks. So let's just say they get paid approximately 4 times a month. Study a current calendar. How many months have 4 weeks? Well, let's see how many months have 4 weeks. So let's say you're getting paid once a week. So how many months out of the year are you going to be paid once a week? And then getting paid once a week, that means that in total you're going to have 4 payments in a month. Okay, so I'm going to start in January, okay? And so let's say that you're going to get paid once a week on a Friday. So let's count how many Fridays in the month of January you're going to get paid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And obviously I'm not going to include holidays or anything. Let's just look at the calendar year as it is. So there's 5 Fridays in January. So in the month of January, you're actually going to get paid 5 times. So let's move on because the question is how many months have 4 weeks? So how many months would you get paid 4 times? Well, in February, 1, 2, 3, 4, February is an example of a month that you would get paid 4 times if you were getting paid every Friday. So February, March, 1, 2, 3, 4 Fridays in March. So that would be another month that you would get paid 4 times. April, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 Fridays in April, so you would get paid 5 times in April. In May, 1, 2, 3, there's 4 Fridays in May, so you get paid 4 times in May. In June, 1, 2, 3, there's 4 Fridays in June. July has 5 Fridays you would get paid. August has 4. September has 4. October has 5. November has 4. And December has 5. Okay, so let's go back over here. So how many months have 4 weeks? And I'm understanding that this question is asking us how many months would you get paid 4 times in that month? So there's, just looking at the 2021 calendar, there are 7 months that you would get paid 4 times in that month. D, explain why people who are paid weekly get paid 5 times in some months. Well, because we saw that sometimes if you're getting paid on a Friday, some months have 5 Fridays in that month because each month is about 4.5 weeks. And how many times has this happened in 2021? 5 times. Okay. So Jen works as a receptionist in a downtown office. She earns $14.25 per hour and usually works 36 hours per week. Calculate her weekly earnings. Okay, so she gets paid $14.25 an hour and she works 36 hours. So multiply those together. Her weekly earnings is $513. Determine her total earnings for a month in which she receives 4 paychecks. So for 1 week, she gets paid $513. So she got 4 paychecks of $513. I'm going to just multiply 513 times 4. That is equal to 2,052. Calculate her total earnings for a month in which she receives 5. So now we're going to take her weekly pay and multiply by 5 paychecks, and that is equal to 2,565. Determine her total earnings for a year if she receives 3 weeks of unpaid holidays per year. Okay, so there are 52 weeks in a year, and 3 of them is unpaid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 52 weeks in a year, and I'm going to subtract the 3 weeks unpaid. So that means that she's getting paid 49 weeks out of the year. So I'm going to take my 49 and I'm going to multiply it by her weekly earnings. And in 1 year, she gets paid $25,137 per year. Vacation pay is money paid by an employer to employees instead of paying employees during their holidays. Each year, Jen's employer pays her vacation pay equal to 4% of her yearly earnings. She receives the vacation pay on the last pay in June. So vacation pay is that 4% that's accumulating throughout the year. You'll see it on your pay stub, and then it's paid out to you once a year. So Jen receives it the last pay in June. Calculate her expected vacation pay if she worked 49 weeks last year. Assume she did not miss a day's work throughout the year. Okay, so I'm going to take her yearly earnings, which is $25,137, which we just calculated up here. And I'm going to multiply it by that 4% for vacation pay. And of course, I'm converting my percent to decimal. And that is equal to $1,005.48. So she's going to get paid an extra $1,000 for vacation pay. Many workers are paid bi-weekly or every other week. Without considering vacation time, these people are paid, well, if you're getting paid every 2 weeks, every other week, okay, if we know that there are 52 weeks in a year and it's only every other week that you're getting paid, I'm going to divide it by 2. So that means that you're only getting paid 26 times a year. People paid bi-weekly are usually paid, well, they're getting paid every other week. So in a month, that's only twice a month, or sometimes 3 times a month, depending on if it's a 4 or 5 week month. So Jen's husband, Mark, works for the city's Parks and Rec department. He earns $27.55 per hour operating a backhoe. He usually works 40 hours per week. How many hours does Mark work in a 2-week period? So 40 hours per week, but it's asking in a 2-week period, right? In 2 weeks, if he's working 40 hours per week, but it's asking for a 2-week period, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my $40 per 1 week and multiply it by 2 to get how many hours Mark is working in 2 weeks. Calculate his total earnings for 1 pay period. So he's only getting paid every other week. So every 2 weeks. So I'm going to take his hourly wage and multiply it by how many hours in 2 weeks. And that's his amount of money that he will get on 1 pay. Determine his total earnings for a 2 pay month. Well, if he's getting paid $2,000 to $2,204 in 1 pay period, so in 2 pay periods, I'm just going to multiply that by 2. So what if he gets paid 3 times in that month? Well, I'm going to take his 1 pay period and multiply it by 3. So that's 6,612. So depending on the month, he can get paid either 2 times or 3 times. Calculate his total earnings for a year if he works 48 weeks per year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 48 weeks and I'm going to divide it by 2. And this is going to determine how many pay periods there are. So he's only getting paid 24 times in those 48 weeks. So there's 24 weeks that he's getting paid throughout the whole year. So I'm going to take his earnings for 1 pay period, 2,204, and I'm going to multiply it by how many times he's going to get paid throughout the whole year. So that means that he's going to make $52,896 for the whole year. Mark also earns vacation pay equal to 9% of his annual earnings. Calculate his expected vacation pay if last year he took 4 weeks vacation, assuming he did not miss any other days of work. So his vacation pay is 9% of what he made. So $52,896. So again, remember, we're converting our 9% to decimal, which is $4,760.64. Calculate Jen and Mark's combined annual family income. Okay, so let's go back to Jen. Jen made $25,000 here, and then plus her vacation pay. Okay, and then Mark made $52,000 plus his vacation pay. So I'm going to add all this up over here. So I'm going to start with Jen. So she made $25,137 annually, plus she got $1,000 vacation pay. So that equals to $26,142.48. And then Mark, he made $52,896 plus his vacation pay. And that is equal to $57,656.64. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add up the 26,000 and the 57,000, which is equal to, so their total family income for 1 year is $83,799.12. Their combined income averages how much per month? Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take their annual income, okay, and I'm going to divide it by how many months there are. So 83,799.12, and I'm going to divide it by 12 months. Okay, and that's $6,983.26 per month. And approximately how much is that per week? Well, we know there's approximately 4 weeks in a month. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take their monthly income, and I'm going to divide it by approximately 4 weeks per month. And that is $1,745.82. Okay, and finally, some people are paid semi-monthly, which means twice a month. Often this means that they're being paid on the 15th of each month and the last day of each month. So either the 30th or the 31st, whatever that is, or February, which is the 28th of that month. 29 if it's a leap year. These people are paid exactly 2 times in a month. So semi-monthly is different than bi-weekly, because bi-weekly you get paid 2 or 3 times a month, depending on how many weeks there are in that month. But when you're paid semi-monthly, you're always paid on the 15th of the month and always on the last day of the month, which is always 2 times, never more. So if they're paid semi-monthly, how many times per year are they getting paid? Well, if there's 12 months in a year and they're getting paid twice in the month, that's 24 pay periods. Helga is a manager in the Human Resources Department in a hospital. She earns an annual salary of $68,000 and is paid semi-monthly. Determine her earnings per pay. So she's paid $68,000. Okay, and we're trying to figure out how much she's getting paid per one pay stub. So she's getting paid 24 times in a year. So I'm going to divide it by 24, which is $2,833.33. So each pay period, she gets paid $2,833.33. So per month, well, remember, they're getting paid twice a month. So I'm going to take her one pay period and multiply it by 2. So per month, she's getting paid $5,666.67. What are her total earnings for a year if she receives 6 weeks of paid holidays per year? Okay, so this one's a little bit different than the vacation pay, because the vacation pay, you get a certain percentage from your total annual earnings, where here she's receiving paid holidays. So whatever she's making is not going to change when she's on vacation. She's still going to be earning the same amount per week because it's paid vacation. And remember, vacation pay is just a percentage of your annual earnings. Okay, so she receives 6 weeks of vacation. So there's 52 weeks in a year. And I want to take away the 6 weeks. That's 46 working weeks. I'm going to take her annual income, and that's based off of the 46 weeks. So I'm going to divide it by 46 working weeks that she works throughout the whole year. And that is equal to $1,478.26. So that's how much Helga gets paid a week. So she has 6 weeks of paid vacation. So I'm going to multiply this by 6 weeks paid vacation. Okay, and that is equal to $8,869.56. Okay, so her vacation pay is this for 6 weeks. So I have to add that to her income for the 46 weeks of work. And I'm running out of room, so I'm just going to go over here to the side. So her total annual income is $76,869.57. Explain why Helga has her monthly car payment and monthly car insurance payment deducted from her account on the 16th of every month. So remember, Helga is getting paid on the 15th of every month. That's a guarantee, right? So if she has her payments on the 16th of every month, she's basically guaranteed that there's going to be money in her account for the insurance to take out the money. Because if she paid, let's say, on the 14th of every month, right before she got paid, she may not have any money left to pay her car insurance. Okay, so the check your understanding, I'd like you to complete by yourself before you begin the quiz, okay? And the answer to the check your understanding you can find on the answer key version of this lesson. Message me if you have any questions.